I said, hey, after 1 month of trying to be your friend and feeling that I was completely playing a fool in this friendship, I don't trust you. I don't respect you. So it's better for us to stay away. I don't believe in frenemies. This is to me. This is just pop culture. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mom Used to Say No. This is the first episode in English that I'm going to produce for my new Spanish podcast. I was going to say website. I don't know why. But it's a podcast. It has a website. Not yet, really, but it will have one. I mean, I'm using the free one provided by Anchor.fm. Thank you. But do I need to have a website for the podcast? I think it's just like let's share it and have it on Spotify, Apple, and Google. Some say that you have to do the website blog to attract more people. Perhaps. I don't know. What do you think about it? Should I invest my time in having a website for my podcast? And please, oh no, I made a mistake. Now I will be contacted by millions and millions of bots telling me that they can improve my SEO online. Okay, well, actually, I just wanted to introduce myself in English. My name is Luis David Rodriguez. I'm from Venezuela, and I decided to start my own podcast dealing with themes that our parents said that we shouldn't talk in public, such as sexuality, money, mental health. There are so many things. I'm like blank, but really, politics, religion. And one of the things that I want to talk about today, friendships. And I would like to start by asking you, have you ever broken up with a friend? I have. And I know it sounds dramatic. It might be dramatic, but it was actually for my peace of mind. It was for my peace of mind. Why? Because I couldn't trust this person anymore. I was not feeling, I'm not a hypocrite. I try not to be a hypocrite. And I remember this happened in college. And we were part of the same theater group. And there was a lot of drama as always in these groups in university, especially in the performing arts. But one of the things that I felt was like, okay, I have to see you every day, sort of. We were not studying in the same class, but we were so close. And at the end, I said, hey, so I must give you more context. This person started dating someone I confessed to him that I liked. And then he decided, like, oh, I want it from me. Typical. But back then I was 22. Yeah. And I discovered this kind of behavior in human. At the end of the day, they're not even together anymore, so, or that I know of. And funny enough, when that happened, I said to myself, oof, first I tried to be friends with him. And it took me like 1 month. And it was just very, very sad for me. Because I remember we were a group of four. Two of them started dating. So I liked one of my friends. And the other one that was my friend in the same group decided that he wanted to him first. So he did, which is completely fine. But back then I felt so betrayed, so freaking betrayed. Which it is. It's basically a betrayal because you're already confessing to someone. But at the same time, now I'm an adult to understand that I didn't have a chance with my other friend. So this guy was just doing what he felt like it was the right thing to do. But it was a shitty thing to do anyway. So what I want to explain about this friendship episode, or in this friendship episode, is that it could happen that you don't want to deal with people's anymore and you don't want to take the higher road. And this is okay. It's okay to do it nicely, without drama. I hate drama, but usually people that say that they hate drama, drama follows. Yeah, I know. The reality is, I said, hey, after 1 month of trying to be your friend, and feeling that I was completely playing a fool in this friendship, I don't trust you. I don't respect you. So it's better for us to stay away. I don't believe in frenemies. This is to me. This is just pop culture. And I don't agree with it. So I decided consciously, and this was one of the first thing as an adult that I did that I feel proud of, because it gave me a sense of learning how to set limits and boundaries. And I did this. So that was interesting. And I just I just remember that then I did it again like 2 or 3 times. This sounds so bad. It sounds like I go around just breaking people's hearts or I'm being so dramatic. But you know what? It's interesting how in society, when you decide to set limits and to be honest about things, they give you the title of being dramatic. I would think that someone is dramatic when they want to recreate every day the drama and they try to find ways to put themselves in the middle and in the center of the situation. That was not my case. What I was actually doing was removing myself from the narrative. Ha, yes, that's very much look what you make me do, Taylor Swift. But it has a point. You really need to do this, and you need to do this to take care of yourself, take care of your mental situation and the struggle that you're faced. Because even at the end, you're finishing a friendship, and there's a new chapter on how to deal with it and how to adapt, how to regain trust, which, if you have other friends, usually it helps because then you're able to share what you are experiencing and they usually understand. They will give you advice on it. In my case, I used to be very, and I still am, but I'm conscious on it and I'm working on it. I used to hide all the bad things that were happening to me. I didn't want to burden people with myself, with my struggles. And this pretty much just got on top of each other till the point where when I got depressed 1 year ago, that everything exploded. I realized that what that is one of the issues that I have to deal with. And this is why I'm sharing this today, because I'm pretty sure there are people around the world thinking, hey, something's wrong with me, but it's better just to keep it to myself. And sometimes it's okay to keep it to yourself if you don't have a circle of people that you can trust, because they can, of course, use it against you. But if you do, even if it's one person, for sure you have to share it. I discover one thing: when you lower your guard, when you let yourself be vulnerable, people find more empathy towards you and they also become vulnerable to you. And this becomes very important in human relations, in your friendships, in your romantic relationships, simply because the world really needs a lot of love. And I know it sounds cheesy. I kind of hate myself for saying this here because this is not what it's about. This is not self help. It's more like, hey, we go through this. Yeah, there is a lack of love everywhere. And this is not just romantic love. I mean, like understanding each other, like supporting situations. And I completely lost the point. What was I saying? I was referring to friendships and loving yourself. No, it's not loving yourself. You see, you default back to these cheesy phrases. You're trying to run away from vulnerability, and being vulnerable is exactly what is going to connect you faster
to other people. And I discovered this myself, and I was running away from vulnerability. And just an example of it is my podcast. Just like it took me years to start a project where I could share situations, emotions, experiences, because I was so afraid not to be perfect. And this was literally, not literally, I don't want to be I don't want to exaggerate. This is another thing that I'm learning, just to call things for what they are. It was emotionally killing me. But this is something you start working on when you manage to have a conversation with yourself in an honest way. This being, you have to open the door to your shadow, to the dark side of yourself, because this is basically what is always keeping us from developing better relationship with other people. Not facing the darkest side of us and the shitty things that we do, we say, we think, is exactly what is creating like this deformed personality that you are always trying to cover up in front of the world. And if you feel disconnected most of the time, it's because you're hiding something to yourself. You don't want to face it. Then you start building all these layers. And then you go out into the world and complain that you are not able to connect to people, that no one understands you. You're not able to keep a friendship or a relationship. And it's important to know yourself first, but exactly know the shadow you have inside and to shine a light on it, to be like, sure, I've done some really ridiculous things. I'm not proud of it, and I will try to change this. And in my case, what happened was that I was so hard on myself because everything needed to be perfect. I was trying to compensate growing up gay and feeling completely not accepted and bullied and feeling guilty religiously because my parents were disappointed. At least this is what I was feeling, or I grew up with this idea. And then I became this adult, this young man, thinking that the way I was dealing with my own was okay by hiding it. And this is exactly the goal that I want to share with this podcast. Mom used to say no. All those taboo subjects that they recommended us not to talk in public. I want to start a conversation, an honest space, a safe space where we can ask questions that we wouldn't normally ask because we're afraid to be canceled or we're afraid to be improper. I want to have this space because I am also learning. Like, just because I'm part of a group that's being marginalized, it doesn't mean that I can fully understand the scope of all the things happening in the world with different communities. And I think this is one of the reasons why I don't feel connected to a sense of community, because I feel that I don't align myself with all those thoughts or with all the ideas that you're supposed to have when you belong to this group. And this is why I am trying to look for answers. And this is what I'm doing today. So the episode today was kind of weird, was different, completely unscripted. I feel happy about it. I said in the beginning, in the introduction of the Spanish version, I said that I was going to make mistakes and that I will be learning from them. So here I am doing that. And I hope you guys like it and join for next episodes. I'm doing this completely selfishly. I must admit, I'm doing it because I needed a creative outlet out of my office job. And I'm happy to be doing something that will allow me to grow as a person. And if I can bring information to people, if I can bring words of consolation that you're not alone in the way you're perceiving the world, then this would be successful for me. So thank you very much, and I hope you tune in for the next episode of Mamá decía que no. Mom used to say no.